Morning date. It's time for another edition of Morning Date, and joining us in the studio this morning is CEO and founder of wine curating company Soodevie, Sarysugyung Henriet. Good morning.
Good morning.
Would you like to say hello to our listeners first?
Sure. Hello. Good morning. Thanks for having me this morning.
So the pleasure is all ours, and we are very excited to have you here today. Now, your name is quite long, Sarysugyung Henriet.
Yes.
And I'm guessing there's a bit of a French background to that.
Yes. So Sarah is my French name, Henriet
Sarah.
as well. Sarah, Henriet. And Sookyung is my Korean name. My mother is Korean.
I see. Okay, well, we'll have to mix in a bit of français in
Ooh.
between the conversations.
Yes.
Not really, I'm just
Many
kidding.
French lessons this morning.
Okay, so you're the CEO of Soodevie. So let's talk about your company first of all. The name is very interesting. Now, I know a little bit of French, and I know that de vie means of life.
Yes.
Sue, what does Sue mean?
Sue is from my Korean name, Sookyung, meaning water. So water of life, which is I'm from between Bordeaux and Cognac.
Right.
And eau de vie in French means water of life, which is the purest distilled alcohol to make cognac.
증류수라 그러나요? 그거를?
네, 맞아요. 네.
원래 와인을
가장
할 때
순수한
가장
네,
순수한
증류주.
증류수를 이제 eau de vie.
네.
근데 그게 말 그대로 해석을 하면은 생명의 물인데
네.
그 물이라는 단어를 수경의 수, 물수자를
네,
넣어서
맞아요. 네.
근데 한자도 물수자를 쓰시진
네,
않으시죠?
맞아요.
아, 써요?
네, 물수예요.
아,
네.
그래요? Because I have Sue in my name as well, but I use a different character.
Oh,
So I
right,
was just
right,
curious.
right.
그래서 이제 Soodevie라는 이름은 이제 알겠습니다.
네.
생명의 물, 또 생명의 사라씨, 수경씨라는 뜻인데 wine curating company라고 제가 소개를 해드렸어요. So for those of our listeners who are not too familiar with wine curating, what is that?
Right. It's a fairly new concept, not just in Korea, but in other countries as well.
Yeah.
But to compare it to a sommelier or a sommelier, it's quite different. A sommelier, you have to go through a rigorous, long curriculum.
Yeah.
And it's rather academic, right? The way you approach wine and the way you're going to explain wine. Most sommeliers work at restaurants and hotels, and they're also excellent servers, right, of wine. Now, for wine curators, it's a little different approach of selecting and explaining wine. So simply put, it's actually an art of selecting and presenting wine that has a story that is relevant to a certain situation or certain person.
Right. So I actually pictured an art gallery when I heard this expression.
Absolutely.
Because you have the artist and you have the art curator.
Right.
So you're doing that, but with wine.
Exactly. So, for example, right, we have a lot of corporate clients, but usually they just pick wines because it's there.
Yeah.
What we do is we specifically select wines that can tell the story, that can reflect the values of that specific company, or even, tell a message that they want to send to their employees or clients. So making it more special, adding value. Yeah.
Right. 우리가 미술관에 가게 되면은 미술 작품을 그리는 화가가 있고요. 그다음에 그 아트 큐레이터가 있잖아요. 큐레이터의 경우에는 이 그림을 그리는 것은 하지 않지만 그 외에 모든 상황적인 것을 파악하고 설명하고 그러는 것처럼 와인 큐레이터의 경우에는 이제 기업 고객을 대상으로 했을 때 이 기업이 어떤 상황에서 어떤 와인을 사용을 해야 가장 좋을지
네.
전체적인 것을 좀 보고 파악하고 선정해주는 그런 역할을 하는 게 맞나요?
의미 부여를 하고 그 행사 혹은 전하고 싶은 메시지에 사실 더 특별함을 더하는 거죠.
Wow. And you also do you make your own wine, your company at all?
Right now, so we do have a private brand.
Okay.
A blend that, so I did make, I made one wine that was terrible when I was younger. But it taught me great lessons. And I'm very sensitive to blends, right, of different wines. And so we do have a private brand called 봄이 wine, which means 봄의 아이, spring
Right.
child. I wanted to make a wine that symbolizes the peace process right now on the peninsula.
Right. And I
so
am going
that's
to get to that.
my baby wine.
Yes.
From Germany. Yeah.
수드비라는 회사에서 이제 봄이 와인을 직접 만들기도 하셨는데 그 얘기는 조금 후에 제가 또 네, 질문을 드리도록 하겠습니다. 자, 그래서 와인 큐레이팅 비즈니스를 하고 계시는데 어떻게 해서 이런 일을 하게 되셨는지 너무 궁금해요. How did you get into this business?
Right. So I'm from near Bordeaux, and I grew up with winemakers around me and just vineyards everywhere.
Yeah.
It was either vineyards or sunflower fields.
Wow.
Beautiful place. And just winemakers always fascinated me, How do you go from this land, from just grape trees, right? From vines, and all of a sudden you have this beautiful white wine or red wine in a bottle, right? That can go from so many different prices, right?
Yes.
And so that fascinated me. So I learned from them. I would visit and I
Yeah.
would help them harvest.
Right.
I would observe them mostly, how they make wines, the fermentation process, the aging, and I
Yeah.
just loved it. So I loved grapes and then naturally started loving wine. And then later on, when I went to Washington, D.C. to study international relations and politics, I had many opportunities to meet with diplomats and politicians, and there was
Right.
always wine, but not
Yeah.
any wine.
So you didn't actually study wine. You always had a love for it, but you studied international relations,
That's
international
right.
politics.
Yes, international politics. And wine was just learning from winemakers just
Yeah.
on this side. I was never academic or I
Right,
didn't
right.
study it, in a classroom. And then later on, when I saw the role of wine in the political scene,
Yeah.
I thought that was fascinating.
Did you get to go to some diplomatic events?
Yes, many.
Because at those events,
right.
there's an abundance of wine.
Right. And all those negotiations, sometimes very
Yes.
sensitive, but they
Yeah.
will pick a wine that can tell a story.
Right, right.
That can just warm
Exactly.
hearts and that can, ease up communication. And that's when I was like, wow, how do I put this passion for wine and my career
Yeah.
together? And for me, that was wine curation.
아, 어렸을 때 보도에서 태어나시고 자라시면서 이제 자연적으로 와인에 대한 호기심은 있으셨고 그렇지만 정치 외교를 공부하시면서 와인이라는 게 이렇게 정치의 세계, 사실 이제 외교죠.
그쵸,
정치보다는
외교죠.
외교의
네.
세계에서는 굉장히 중요한 역할을 하는구나. 외교적인 어떤 그 모임들이 있을 때는 복장 하나하나부터 해서 음식 하나하나까지 다 의미가 부여가
맞아요.
되잖아요. 어느
네.
나라 대사를 만나느냐에 따라서 식탁에 올라오는 음식과 와인이 다 달라질 텐데 그런 것을 보면서 내 고향 보도의 그런 와인과 지금 내가 공부하는 거 있는 이 정치 외교와 여러 가지 좀 뭐라 그럴까요? 그 연관된 부분들이 있는 것 같다라는
네.
걸 좀 느끼셨던 것 같아요.
네.
Was that when you decided I need to work in this field?
Right. At first I thought I was a little, I wanted to be more creative with diplomacy
Yeah.
too. And especially working for a think tank, foreign policy think tank in DC and other places. I have a creative mind that I wanted to utilize,
Yeah.
and it was rather conservative.
Right,
And when I
right.
saw this powerful role that wine has, I thought, how do I make this? I wanted to always have my own business.
Right.
I just never really had an item, and that's when kind of sparked my.
Because there's a lot of protocol you have to follow when it comes to diplomacy. And I
Right.
imagine you must have had to, stay within the box, but you wanted to.
Yes. So I wanted
out
to
of
do
that.
creative diplomacy, which is wine diplomacy right now for me.
외교 관련된 일을 좀 하셨고, how many years?
5 years.
5 years. 5년 동안이나
네.
외교 쪽 일을 하셨어요. 그러면서도 동시에 뭔가 좀 창의적인 일을 하고 싶다.
네.
와인은 계속 생각이 나고. 그래서 만드신 게 바로 이 와인 큐레이팅 컴퍼니 Soodevie군요.
네, 맞습니다. 네.
Well, let's take a short song break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about your life as a wine curator. Let's listen to The Real Group with Baravi. You're listening to Morning Special, and on today's morning date, we have in the studio wine curator Sara수경 Henriet. She is the CEO and founder of Soodevie, the wine curating company that's actually made you the very first wine curator of Korea, I believe.
Yes.
와인 큐레이터 1호라고 할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
네,
네, 사라수경 언리에 씨 오늘 모시고 모닝데이트 얘기를 나누고 있는데요. 자, 이제 아까 와인 큐레이팅이 뭔지 좀 배워봤고요. 그다음 잠깐 봄이 와인이라는 얘기를 해주셨는데 제가 이제 좀 본격적으로 여쭙고 싶어요. 왜냐하면은 작년에 저희가 이제 뉴스를 많이 다루는 프로그램이다 보니까 작년에 있었던 남북 정상회담이 생각이 나는데 그때 그 자리에서 마셨던 와인으로 제가 알고 있습니다. 맞나요?
네, 네,
Tell us
맞습니다.
about your wine then.
Yeah. So it happened April 2017, right? And that's only a few months after I founded Soodevie. So it was in the very early...
2017.
Yes.
Okay, yes, right.
So I was a bit... was it 2017 actually?
I think it was
Actually,
2018,
right? Let's
네,
actually
작년이죠.
correct that. So I founded Soodevie October 2017, and then the summit happened April 2018.
Yeah, right.
And so it was still very early stage of my startup, but I really wanted to do something that makes people talk about the peace process, but in a more positive light, non-political, you know, but something that we need to absolutely discuss. And so I put my hat of, you know, my international relations, politics hat back on. And it's like, okay, how do I make a wine that can record this important process? And so I was traveling to Germany and I did a lot of research, you know, for this wine. And I picked a Riesling from a winery operated by the German Red Cross. And the story is when Germany was divided, there were two Red Cross, right? The Eastern Red Cross and the Western Red Cross.
Okay.
But when the country reunified, the two Red Cross came together and started operating this winery. So this winery is a product of peace and reunification. And I thought that was perfect. Tried the blend, loved it, talked to the winemaker, you know, talked to the entire team, and decided that we wanted to bring that to Korea to pass on this similar peace message.
How did the selection process go? How did the government pick your company to choose their wine?
Actually, this wine never went on to the summit.
Oh, okay.
This was afterwards.
Okay.
So for me, it wasn't for the government. It was really for just
The
the
banquet
regular.
afterwards then?
No, it was never
okay.
officially selected as that. I wanted to, but I was a little late. It happened afterwards.
I
So it was
see.
mostly just for everyone, you know, for just regular consumers, for them to drink for good, you know, drink for a cause that's good. And we
okay.
did have a little bit of a donation process that we went through
I
with the
see.
Korean Red Cross. And then now we stopped that, but we're still carrying it, and yeah, it's a steady seller.
네. 그러니까 작년에 남북 정상회담이 있을 즈음에 이것을 기념하기 위해서 만든 게 바로 보미 와인인데요. 봄을 상징하는 보미 와인이고 그다음에는 이 배경에는 독일이 통일됐을 당시에 그전에는 동독과 서독이 각각의 적십자가 있었는데 이게 하나의 적십자가 되면서 거기서 파생된 와인 회사가 만든 와인에서 영감을 받았다. 이런 얘기를 해주셨습니다. 그러니까 어떤 통일이라는 주제를 가지고 이 와인을 만드신 거라는 것도 굉장히 흥미롭습니다. 저도 궁금해요. 보미 와인 어떤 맛인가요? 봄의 맛이에요.
네, 봄의 맛이에요. 굉장히 좀 semi-sweet합니다. 네, it's a little semi-sweet, but I wanted everyone to be able to enjoy it. You know, whether you're a wine lover or you're just starting to drink wine. And usually sweeter wines, you know, tend to be you know, easily appreciated. And so it goes really well with spicy Korean food as well. So nice pairing, or
Food
even
pairings.
as a toast. You know, just one glass.
그냥 이 자체적으로 마셔도 맛있지만 매운 한식과 먹었을 때 아주 궁합이 좋다라는 얘기를 해주셨는데요.
네.
Talking about food pairings, you as a wine curator have come up with many different kinds of food pairings. And I
Yes.
love this because there's a particular wine that you would recommend that would go well with 전 and kimchi-jjigae
Right.
and 갈비찜. Tell us about that.
Yeah, because you know, for me, curation is also how to match wine and food, but that's culturally relevant. So what I thought was a little complicated or difficult with wine in Korea is that Koreans always try to match it with cheese or Western food, right? You must go to an Italian restaurant, eat pasta, and drink wine.
보통 우리가 이제 전 하면은 막걸리
특히
떠오르시잖아요.
비 오는 날, 그렇죠?
그런데 지금 사라수경 씨는 와인도 충분히 한식과 페어링을 할 수
네.
있다. 아, 이런
네,
얘기잖아요. 몇
그쵸.
가지 좀 알려주세요.
그것도 큐레이션이다 보니까.
그렇죠.
네.
네.
And my mom always made Korean food and my dad always had a bottle of red wine or French wine on the table. So really
yeah.
it's me sharing how I was raised also in my I guess dining table
Yeah.
culture. So for example with 전, because you mentioned it, there are many different kinds of 전, right?
Yeah.
But with 부추전, for example, I do like a crisp white wine because it
white
really
wine.
brings out the flavors of the buchu of the leeks.
Very
So that's
interesting.
excellent. But usually, if you don't want to think too hard, because it can get a little complicated, right? Just pick a sparkling wine. It'll
Okay.
go excellent with any fried or kind of ton style food.
Because normally I'm very simplistic when it comes to wine. I think red wine, meat, white wine, fish.
Right, right.
But now I can widen my scope. And the next time I have chon, maybe I'll have a sparkling wine or a white wine.
Yeah, absolutely. And
really good.
chimek, for example, right? Chicken and
치킨이랑 어울리는
beer.
와인도 있어요?
스파클링 와인 정말 맛있어요.
스파클링
치와.
와인.
It is.
오.
That's
하나만
wisdom
더.
right there.
삼겹살이랑 어울리는 와인 있을까요?
네네, 삼겹살하고는
있어요? 네.
사실 저는 삼겹살하고는 보르도 혹은 보르도 와인
잘 어울려요?
블렌드
오.
하고 시작하고 마지막에는 언제나 스파클링 와인으로 끝내요. 주로 왜 사이다를 마시잖아요. 좀
그런
느끼하다
느낌으로.
보니까.
탄산
네.
음료를 마시는 느낌.
껍질하고 스파클링 와인 정말 맛있습니다.
돼지 껍질과 스파클링 와인. 오, 동서양의 조화네요.
네.
알겠습니다. Well, if you'd like to find out more about these food pairings and more about Sara수경 Henriet, you can do so by going to...
Our YouTube channel.
Yes, tell us about that as well.
Yeah, so we do a lot of different pairings on YouTube. I have a channel called actually 와먹방, which is wine and
먹방.
먹방.
네,
right?
알겠습니다.
And so we pick a lot of food that you can easily pick up at the convenience store, just places that are really just easy access. So that you may think a little bit harder for, when you choose your wine, but we want
Yeah.
the food to be easy, so that
Right.
you can actually try these at home. And I would love to hear your feedback, actually, after trying these pairings and see if this is something that you like.
네, 여러분 이제 관심 있으신 분들은 유튜브 채널에 가셔서요. 사라수경 씨의 이 푸드 페어링 직접 한번 드셔보시고 이거 너무 좋더라. 혹은 여러분만의 또 의견이 있으시면 이거 어때요? 라는 의견도 한번 올리면 어떨까 하는 생각이 듭니다. Do you give a lot of feedback when people write messages?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
especially on Instagram. People
All right.
ask me, "Oh, can you try, wine and 김치볶음밥 or 족발?" So we take these recommendations very seriously, because they're curious, and that's a really good sign.
Right.
So we absolutely listen, and then we execute.
Right. Now, although you're not a sommelier, you have sort of studied wine over the years
Yes.
through your food pairings. Is there a fun wine fact you might want to share with our listeners?
I think I'm very sensitive to taste. And something that I love doing is something that I'm still exploring is how to find the ultimate pairings with Korean food, because Korean food, I've been always interested in food, but the way Korean food is marketed abroad, and I just wasn't very satisfied with the way Korea markets its food and its culinary culture in other countries. And I thought, hey, if the food is too spicy or too bold for foreigners, especially for French people. I mean, my dad still can't eat a lot of Korean food. So how do we make sure that they still appreciate Korean food, but with the right, I think wine can do that, So it's a bit of a mission for me, especially for France to start appreciating our food here in Korea.
네, 한국 음식을 너무나 사랑하시지만 해외에는 아직 이 한국의 매력적인 음식이 잘 홍보되지 않은 것 같다. 이것은 혹시 이제 와인을 통해서 푸드 페어링 하면서 잘 홍보할 수 있지 않을까 하는 기대감을 가지고 일을 하고 계시다고 설명해 주셨습니다. All right, let's take another song break. And when we come back, we'll find out about this wine in front of us. Because we have a wine in front of us right now. This is radio, so we can't show our listeners. But we have a bottle of wine in front of us. I'll ask you about that.
Great.
And we'll talk more about your life. Here's Sam Smith, I'm Not the Only One. You're listening to Morning Date. And in the studio this morning, we have the lovely Sara수경 Henriet, curator and also CEO of Soodevie. And that would be your own company that you founded. You curate wines, you drink wine, you make wine. Your life is everything to do with wine, really.
Yes.
보통 우리는 이제 와인 마실 때 뭐 짠 이러고 마시지만 프랑스에서는 santé 이렇게
santé.
얘기하잖아요. 네.
네.
건강이라는
그쵸.
뜻이죠.
건강을 위해서.
네, 참 좋은 것 같아요. 왜냐하면 이게 뭐 취한다는 생각으로 마시는 게 아니라 건강을 위해서라고 하면서 와인을 마시잖아요.
네.
생각 자체가 좀 다르지 않나 하는 생각이
천천히
듭니다.
마시죠. 또.
네. 근데 와인을 마시는 방법들이 따로 있나요? Is there a proper way of drinking wine?
There is, easy etiquette. Obviously you can get very fancy with wine, but you don't have to do that on a daily basis,
Right.
of course. But there are three things that I usually tell the Soodevie members and my friends
Yeah.
and anyone who is interested. But so you smell the wine. Right?
Okay.
But you want to look at the color first, right?
so
And
you
this doesn't
look.
have to be difficult.
All right.
Just look at the color. It's
I'm a
like,
newbie,
oh.
so yeah.
I'm drinking a Chardonnay, right?
Okay.
Oh, it's a little greenish yellow. That's all you
Okay.
need to know. But at least recognize that the Chardonnay that you're drinking has this color. And then that way you remember.
Okay.
For
자, 와인을
next time.
마시는 아주 기본적인 방법 먼저 잘 관찰해라. What's the next step?
색깔을 보고, and then you smell it.
Okay.
You appreciate wines
Like,
through your
do you
nose
sniff it
and
or
your
like how
palate.
do you smell it?
Actually, and I can show you later
Oh,
when you
okay.
actually drink it. But basically, and I have a glass here, so I can just easily.
네,
show
지금
it to
스튜디오
you.
안에 와인잔을 시범적으로 이렇게 들고 오셨어요.
들리시죠?
들어있는 건 없습니다만.
네, 폈어요.
이거
코를 through your nose. You
잔
actually
안에다가
dip
코를
your
넣어요?
nose into into the glass to smell, especially the first, as if you're taking a deep breath.
숨을 이렇게 크게 들이마시듯이 와인잔 안에서 이렇게 냄새를 맡는 거군요.
And then later on, you can just, shorter smells. But at first, we call it the attack, right?
Oh,
Attack. And
okay.
you and that goes away afterwards
Okay.
because then you get used to it. So you want
Right.
to make sure you really get that first smell in the beginning.
Interesting. 네, 그렇게 attack.
그렇죠?
냄새를,
공격이죠.
네. 향을 맡고.
And then you swirl it because you want the wine to breathe.
Oh,
It's been in a
does
bottle.
that affect the taste?
Yes, because it's been bottled up for so long. It's like
I
a room and you
see.
haven't opened the windows for a while.
I
It's
always
gonna have
wondered
that
why
smell,
people did that.
Yeah, so you just want to open it up, make sure the wine breathes. Makes it happy. And then you get all the aromas, basically.
네. 자, 그러면은 우리가 뭐 이론적으로 얘기를 했습니다만 실제로 한번 해보죠. 와인 이거 와인병 있는데
Shall we open
Can you
it?
open it?
Yes.
네, 지금
So
여러분
it's an
소리
ice
들리시나요?
bag.
네, 지금 얼음백 안에 들어있어서 얼음 소리가 지금 들렸고요. 와인병을
Let's just wipe it a little bit since
네.
it's been in an ice bag for a while. So it's
저희
nice and
나중에
cold.
이제 유튜브 영상도 보실 수 있고요. 지금 들으시는 분들은 제가 설명을 좀 드리도록 하겠습니다.
So there's a tap here that you can actually use to
그렇죠. 간편하게 이제 열 수 있는데 이거 무슨 와인이에요? 일단
한국 와인입니다. It's a Korean wine.
Okay.
Yes. It's actually a new project that we're starting,
Ah.
and we partnered up with Korean winemakers, and we selected wines that are really good quality in Korea. With grapes with varietals that are local.
Wow. So
to
where
Korea.
specifically is this one from?
This is from Gyeongsan in Gyeongsangbuk-do. So 20 minutes away from Daegu.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
beautiful, cute winery, and they make really, really good wines, especially this white wine, which is made out of cheongsu, which is a
cheongsu.
Korean varietal.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's not sparkling wine.
No, it's a
white,
dry
just
white
dry
wine.
white wine. 네.
Yeah.
자, 이제
So when you open it, so when you have a wine opener, right, you just want to make sure you hit the middle of the cork. And then you
콕스크루를
push.
가지고 중간에서부터 이제 꾹 눌러서 콕스크루를 이제 조이죠.
네, 계속
네.
소리 들리시죠?
잘 들립니다.
And then you want to make sure, there are two levels. The first one, you just push it so that you place it on the top of the bottle.
Okay.
Right? And then you push
아하.
so that you see the cork coming up.
아,
So that's-
홈에 있는 부분이 병뚜껑 위에 가도록 하고 그 다음에 살살 들어 올리면은
네.
코크가 나오네요.
So that's
빵
step
소리 나게 여는
one.
거예요?
아니요, 조용하게 여는 게 에티켓입니다.
아,
The
그래요?
right etiquette. You want to be as quiet as possible.
오, 이것도 새로
We
배웠네요.
call it an angel's fart or baby's fart.
Is that the real term?
Yeah.
정말
Not everyone uses it. I use it, but
네.
some sommeliers and some people in the industry use it. But.
업계에서는 이 병뚜껑 여는 걸 조용히 열어야 되는데 천사의 방귀 소리만큼 조용히 열어라 이렇게 표현을 한답니다. Angel's fart.
네, 가끔 반전이 있을 수도 있지만.
그러니까 매우 조용히 열라는 뜻이죠.
Yeah. So then
몰랐어요.
second, very right. You're gonna have to do the last push, right? I mean, not push. Sorry,
Pull.
Lift, pull.
Yeah.
So then when you get to the top, that's when you're gonna use your hand, right? And just really slowly.
정말
open
소리가
it up.
안 나도록 마지막에는 이제 손으로 감싸서 들어 올리시네요. That's it.
That's it.
여러분 들으셨어요? 이렇게
That's it.
조용하게 그
So
와인병을
it's
여는구나.
opened, and then you smell the
네.
cork
Okay.
to make sure it's not corked.
What does that mean?
So if the wine went bad or not. So you want to make sure the cork, doesn't have any like crazy yeast or bluish color on it.
아하.
A little bit of yeast is fine when it's on top,
Right.
but then when it's completely soaked into the cork, that means the wine has gone bad.
네, 와인 병에 있는 코크를 빼내고 난 다음에 반드시 이걸 냄새를 맡아야 되고요. 그다음에 와인이 상했을 때는 코크드라는 표현을 쓴대요. 그러니까 콕했는지 안 했는지 확인을 하기 위해서 냄새를 반드시
네.
맡아라. 어때요?
Would you like to smell it?
네.
It's perfect.
너무 냄새가 좋은데요.
Very fruity, right?
Wow, it's lovely.
So it gives you a little preview of what the wine would smell like. Not necessarily taste like, but will smell like through the cork.
되게 기분 좋아지는 향인 것
그쵸,
같아요. 네, 뭔가
네.
되게 업되는
Like the
같은데요.
morning date.
이렇게 해서 그 다음에는 이제 와인잔에 따르는 것도 뭐 에티켓이 있나요? 그냥 따르면
있습니다.
되나요?
아주
있어요?
기본적인 거는요. 잔을 놔두시고
이게 쉽지가 않네요.
아니요, 쉬워요.
쉬워요?
It's
네.
easy, it's easy.
참 하긴 뭐 제가 배울 수 있으면 뭐 쉬운 겁니다.
If it's just friends drinking, then just leave the glass down, and then, your friend will pour it. But I see a lot of, especially in Korea, I see a lot of people lift their glasses. And that makes it really difficult because,
Right.
then the person pouring it will have to lift the arm even higher.
그 맥주
and that
에티켓이랑은 다른
balance.
거죠.
네,
우리가.
완전 달라요.
예, 그러니까
네.
와인잔을 들어서 이렇게 달라고 하면 안 됩니다.
네,
그럼
그러면
내려놓고
쏟을 수가 있고
그렇죠.
불편해요. 네.
그럼 잡기는 하나요?
네, 잡는 게 가장 좋은 에티켓이죠. Just put your hand down on the base of the glass, and then this is a sign just to say thank you.
I
You
see.
know, I recognize that you are here and pouring a glass of wine for me.
만약에 와인잔에 손을 안 대면은 뭐좀 건방져 보이나요?
친구들끼리는 상관없는데, 네, 뭐 레스토랑이라든지 좀 괜찮은 그래도 행사라든지 만찬을 갔는데
네.
그냥 얘기만 하고 그러면 전혀
그러면,
신경 안 쓴다는 거잖아요. 근데 언제나 신경을 쓰고 인식하는 게 중요해요.
네, 우리는 근데 맥주를 마실 때 왜 두 손으로 받아야 되고 이런 게 있잖아요. 그런 건
네네네.
없어요. 와인은?
없어요.
두 손 한 손은 상관없고.
오히려 이러면은
그게 좀 이상.
그 온도에 안 좋을 수 있어요. 와인 온도에.
와인은 이제
Yeah.
와인잔을 한 손으로 잡는
Right.
게 좋고 그다음에 내려놓은 상태에서
내려놔서.
살짝 이렇게 우아하게. 네. 그러고 나서 따를 때는 뭐 그냥 따르면 되나요?
네. 근데 the wine bottle shouldn't touch the glass.
아.
That's something I see a lot. A lot of people do. But then
흘릴까 봐 저도
just
그렇게 하는데.
the noise, I'll just, if you can actually hear the noise, it'll go. It's
이 소리가 나면 안 돼요?
Yeah,
오케이.
it's
어떻게
just
따라야
not
되나요?
elegant.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure it goes like this.
와우.
So no touch, So it does really bring out a whole different experience and ambiance in general.
조금만
so.
더 해주실 수 있어요? 소리가 너무 좋아.
그쵸. And then you want to make sure you don't spill. So you're just gonna twist
살짝 돌려서
the wine, and then that's it.
들고 내려놓습니다.
We have a beautiful glass of wine ready.
Wow. And then you drink it.
And then you look at the color.
You look at the color,
smell
smell
it.
it,
You
swirl
swirl a little
it.
bit, and then you drink it.
When do you say santé?
Before you drink,
Okay.
and when you also cheers, it's important that it's the cheek of the glass, the round part that touches the other person's glass cheek.
Not the
Because I
top
see
part.
people tilting their glasses a
don't do
lot,
that.
but that's when you actually put your mouth to drink. So that's not very sanitary.
네, 건배할 때 보통 이제 외국에서 프랑스에서는 이제 상떼라는 표현을 쓰는데 이때 잔과 잔의 제일 두꺼운 부분 가운데 볼록 튀어나온 부분끼리 마주쳐야 되고요. 끝 부분 이렇게 기울여서 하는 건 아니라고 합니다.
네, 그걸 불어로도 볼이라고 해요. 네.
아,
그 프랑스에서는 또 볼로 이렇게 인사할 때 왜 뽀뽀하는 게
맞아요.
있잖아요. 그래서
아하.
볼과 볼이 만나야 된다고 하죠. de joue en joue 불어로. 네.
와인잔도 볼과 볼이 맞붙게끔
네.
건배를 하는 게 좋습니다. 그리고 서로 이게 바라보면서
네, 언제나 눈을 바라보면서
눈을 언제나
always look
바라보면서.
into the other person's eyes and not because it's rude because you're just cheering and you're looking somewhere else.
딴 데 보면서 이게 짠 하면 안 되겠네요. 아니면 바닥 보고 뭐 이런 것도 안
right,
되고.
just want to make sure you look at the
눈을
person and say
바라보면서.
I'm drinking wine with you. I'm cheering with you.
아, 좋습니다. 자, 와인을 마시는 에티켓 기본적인 거 몇 가지 배워봤고요. 이따가 방송 끝나고 우리 한번 짠을 해보도록 하겠습니다. Tell us a bit more about Korean wines.
Right. So I was actually very surprised. Also, I had my own ideas on Korean wines as well. And the mainstream kind of thought on Korean wines is, well, first question is, oh, wait, Korea produces wines, right? People are really surprised. And the second is it actually good? And I wouldn't say all Korean wines are good. You know, it's a very short history of winemaking in Korea. But the ones that we selected, we have about a dozen right now,
Wow, that's a lot.
are good. And some of them are very good. And so I was very also proud, you know, to see that Korea has reached, a level of, high quality winemaking. So I wanted to, but they like marketing. So I wanted to partner up with a few winemakers that make good wines, but that need a platform.
Yeah, and you help with the marketing.
Absolutely. Yes.
와인 큐레이팅 회사로서 이제 수드비가 국내에서 생산하고 있는 와인 업체들과 손을 잡고 그다음에 일단은 지금 뭐 한 12개 업체 정도와
네.
협력을 하고 있다고 말씀을
지금
해주셨죠.
파트너십을 이제 본격적으로 맺은 군데는 지금 3군데예요.
아,
네네.
그렇지만 이제 계속해서 보고 있는 것들도 여러
I hope
곳이
so.
있고요. 그래서 이 회사들과 같이 손을 잡고 그다음에 좀 마케팅 전략이라든지 이런 데 좀 힘써 주시고
네.
그리고 다른 기업이라든지 회사와 일하면서 페어링하고 또 이제 좀 홍보하는 데도 많이 노력을 해주시는 것 같습니다.
네, and especially believe Korean wine, should be matched with Korean food. It's all about local, regional pairings. That's how Europe, especially France, has gotten. I mean, it's the a hub, right, for F&B, for food and beverage, and this pairing culture. So, for example, this one I pair with bibimbap. And it's excellent. Any
really?
vegetable, it goes really well. 참기름, sesame, and gochujang base. Food.
Yeah.
So,
Well, having grown up in Bordeaux and having tasted all these different wines and with your knowledge, do you see Korea in the future being a country known for its wine?
I think what's going to be a little bit difficult with wine first is not the quality. I think the quality will get there.
Yeah.
And I think French people will also be impressed with the quality of the Korean wine. I will make sure I take part in that when hopefully we start exporting, these wines. It's actually small quantities in Korea, and that's normal,
Okay.
right? We don't have it. This is not a big country with a lot of vineyards like France. It's
Right, right.
So it's going to really play with the quality, and we're gonna have to market it as premium wines, and that's something that's absolutely doable. Many other smaller countries do it. I would just have to have the right message, the right target, and the right pairings.
네. 지금 이제 국내에서 생산되는 와인의 미래에 대해서 제가 잠깐 여쭤봤는데요. 지금 사라수경 씨가 봤을 때는 질적으로는 얼마든지 생산이 있다. 그렇지만 양적으로는 우리가 프랑스라든지 뭐 다른 나라와 견주기가 좀 어렵기 때문에 이런 질로 앞으로 쭉 나가는 것이 좋겠다라는 얘기를 해주셨습니다. Now I know that in France it's really bad manners to bring bad wine to someone's house. So I heard many stories about this. Whereas, in other countries around the world, you can get a wine from the convenience store or something and take it to your friend's house.
Right.
But I think in France, people tend to be a little bit more picky about their wines.
Yes, it can be a little intimidating.
So what do you do if you've been given a wine that isn't great?
Well, I think it's important to also know the wine where it's from, right? Because it could just be a really good one that you personally don't like.
Okay, yeah,
right?
that's true.
But if it's a wine that's, a table wine, and it's just not the highest quality, which is fine too, then you can use it for cooking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or you can make sangria or a cocktail maybe, a wine cocktail, right? There are many other ways you can use the wine. So that would be kind of my first thoughts. Or invite friends over who like wine.
Yeah. 맞아요. 전 세계적으로 이렇게 선물을 주고받는 에티켓들이 있는데 프랑스에서는 특히나 안 좋은 와인을 선물하면은 정말 실례라고 합니다. 근데 만약에 내가 좀 안 좋은 와인을 선물 받았다라고 하면은 요리를 할 때도 쓸 수도 있고 칵테일로도 쓸 수도 있고 다양한 방법으로 활용이 가능하겠네요.
네.
All right. Well, I feel like we've barely scratched the surface today, and
so
yet
much
we
to talk
have
about.
come to the end of the corner.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time this morning.
No, thank you so much. This was fun.
Yes, I wish you the very best, and yeah, let's drink after the show.
Sounds good. Sorry, guys.
네, 오늘 모닝 데이트에는 와인 큐레이터 사라수경 씨와 함께 얘기 나눠봤습니다. Well, we're going to wrap up the show today now with the Bee Gees' Night Fever. Thank you for joining us on Morning Special with me, Che Soo-jin. Do join us again tomorrow.